So back at San Clemente Beach, the tide is high and I'm moving on. Go past Dana Point and work my way up to Newport, hopefully. So the tide is at its absolute maximum. So yeah, that right out there is Dana Point. A Volkswagen van meeting, I guess. Man, that's a lot of Volkswagen vans. Holy cow. You know, when they were there, I never thought they were that hot when they were brand new. But I guess they're a collector's item now. Well, it's nice. They do have porta potties every couple of blocks. When I was a kid, like 1968, there was none. You just found a tree. Wasn't the best time. I guess people looking for oil. I don't see much. I'll drop down to the beach later on and look more. There must be oil here somewhere. Can you imagine what it costs to employ probably 1,000 people on the beach? Monster bucks. And they're still coming. Got a freaky old lady named Cocaine Katie. Well, here's an old arch from 1936. Saturday. If you're an old guy and you listen to the Beach Boys, there's a lot of references to the towns I go through. So this is Doheny. Surf's not up. I surfed a lot when I was a kid, but kind of lost interest. Cold, wet, getting yourself pounded. This is really good surf to learn on. Nice and smooth. No really big swell. I guess there's a free trolley out to the point. Cruise the coast. Or just walk there. What I love about this, coffee during a hike. At the marina, thousands of very expensive boats and very expensive slips looking down from very expensive houses. What I don't understand, help me with this. I can understand there being a few hundred people, you know, who own big car dealerships and that kind of thing. How can there be thousands and just hundreds of thousands of people who can afford multi-million-dollar houses? It's not that there's not some people, Jeff Bezos, but how are there so many? I don't understand it. My wife's theory is that most of the people who buy multi-million-dollar houses here are not from this country. They're from the Arab states. And that's probably got some truth in it. Is that a condo or is that someone's one very big house? I don't know. Really nice 66 Mustang. Yeah, my first car was a 1965 Mustang and I got it in 1971. I thought I was hot stuff, let me tell you. I got that was 50 years ago, a half century ago. God, I'm old. Want to buy a boat? You too can be dead way over your head. But then, as I said before, you either get a lot of debt and don't go anywhere and work 70-hour weeks, or you don't have any debt and you come out and do things like this. But you can't do both unless you have very rich parents. As someone once said, you can have anything you want in your life, and that's true. You just can't have everything you want. You got to choose. Hey, gonna do a little climbing.
Classic unit.
coming up to the quote-unquote summit. Okay, so it's not Triple Divide Pass. Well, this is kind of cool. It's a trail preserve, Dana Point Preserve. Looking north. Very cool. So going north, I'm going to go down this beach around that little point, and before I get to the bigger point there, you go cut back up to Pacific Coast Highway for a bit. It just takes intense GPS watching the trail where it goes, because if you didn't, you would never know the turn here, turn there. It's not like being on the CCT, where that was even more confusing at times. But you got to know that you're not going to go down a dead end and then have to walk 2 or 3 miles back to get back to where you were and try to find another way through. That's the problem. So it came from up there, almost down to the beach. Well, I haven't seen a bit of oil on the beach, so I'm getting up halfway to Newport Beach, nothing. We're going around that first little point and go somewhere up on those houses next. So can't get around that point, so I'm going to go up and walk on the PCH for a little bit and then go back down. So this is the Waldorf Astoria golf course. Of course, it's perfect, and I'm sure it's more than I would want to spend for 18 holes. Just a little shack, nothing much, you know, beach house. Boy, it sure is pretty when you put in beautiful flowers and water them and spend millions of dollars on landscaping. I'm so very fortunate, aren't I? Back to my old friend, the Pacific Coast Highway. Yep. Beautiful Laguna Beach. Well, that's Laguna Beach, and they're out there, boy. Boy, it's just a very scenic place now, isn't it? You can barely put your camera down. more of the oil cleaner uppers. The Shake Shack, boy, it smells really good here. Let me tell you. So I'm gonna call it a day here at the Shake Shack and keep heading north as time goes on.